had bags ready, just in case it did reach the homes.
A frightening holiday weekend in Southern California where a new wildfire is burning tonight. Good evening. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Jana Katsuyama. That fire burning east of Los Angeles has charred more than 200 acres in Riverside County, and it's only about 15% contained right now. The good news is that all evacuation orders have been lifted. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf spoke with people in the fire zone who say they saw the flames spreading as they got ready for Thanksgiving dinner.
The Canyon Crest fire exploding towards homes on Thanksgiving.
It's really frightening that in a second everything could be gone.
The Gonzalez family was about to sit down for their turkey dinner when an evacuation warning was issued.
We had already set the time for dinner and we didn't have an appetite.
Came out of nowhere.
We're loading the car, getting our papers ready, and it was really scary.
Dozens of homeowners told to pack up. Firefighters in neighborhoods as Santa Ana winds pushed the flames closer.
We got home and got our pets because they were alone.
More than 250 acres burned.
We already had our meal and everything and we just came home, but it kind of ruined the mood.
Take a look at how close the fire got to all of these homes. I'd guess about 150 yards away.
We had bags ready, just in case it did reach the homes.
Windy conditions Friday as firefighters look for possible hot spots. A blaze that left many homeowners feeling grateful it wasn't worse.
On a day that everybody, was with their family, we were really appreciative of the firefighters.
What a way to end our Thanksgiving dinner. We're just honestly thankful it didn't reach any of the homes.
Reporting in Fontana, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
In Boulder, Colorado, police say recent assertions that they are ignoring evidence and leads in the 1996 killing of John Benet Ramsey are false. The disappearance of the 6-year-old the day after Christmas captured national attention. At the time, authorities were criticized for their initial handling of the investigation. A new Netflix documentary series suggests that errors were made, including with DNA testing and speculation that her family was responsible. Boulder police say those allegations are not true, and they remain hopeful that new tips will be generated.
We have thoroughly investigated multiple people identified as suspects throughout the years, and we continue to be open-minded about what occurred as we investigate the tips that come in to detectives.
In the documentary, the girl's father, John Ramsey, said he has been pushing for several items that have not been prepared for DNA testing to be evaluated, as well as for other items to be retested. A Phoenix police officer shot and killed a man on Thanksgiving night. Investigators say the shooting happened as police responded to a call about a gun being pulled out during a fight. When officers arrived, they say a vehicle in the area took off. They chased the vehicle to a different area, and then they say they heard shots being fired when a suspect got to the backyard of a home. Police say they fired their weapons when they saw the suspect raise his gun. Neighbors say they are shocked.
It's been quite a while since we've had anything like that here, but all of a sudden, don't know what got into these guys, but kids can't just get along,
These take a long time. This neighborhood, we appreciate the patience of everybody in this neighborhood. It's going to be an extended scene. Obviously, homicide investigators not only have this scene, but obviously they have a couple other scenes that are related, to that officer-involved shooting, and they want to get all that information laid out to kind of see, knock down all the pieces and put that whole puzzle together.
Phoenix police say the suspect was shot at least once by an officer. A gun was recovered from the scene. In Glendale, police say that thieves targeted a car with tens of thousands of dollars of cash inside. Fox 10's Mark Martinez shows us what it took to bring in the suspects.
Glendale police dubbed it the Italian job.
There's money all over the street. We were making a right-hand turn. We see the fighting. Came up to a car accident and then fighting. The guy was, and I was like, you guys need to separate. And he's like, he stole $50,000 from me.
Surveillance cameras captured the moment two suspects swiped $50,000 from a man's car.
And when we got off to get the truck, we had the money in the car. And me, like an idiot, I didn't lock the car. He's like, hey, dude, that car took off with something. He stole something out of your car, he said. And he left.
On November 7th, the victim had just cashed a settlement check from the bank, then drove to a home near 83rd Avenue and Northern to purchase a truck.
So you went to some location to buy a truck, had money in the car, okay, and then what happened?
And then we got off to see the truck. truck with the owner of the truck. He got there.
Which was not him.
Which was not him. And we got in the car and we started chasing this guy, and this dude was hauling until he crashed right here.
The victim and his son jumped back in their car, calling 911 as they chased after the suspects. Real-time crime center traffic cameras captured the suspects crash into another vehicle after running a red light at 67th Avenue and Olive.
And then he got out of the car and ran. I was following him with that bag. And I was running after him. And then, like I said, I lost him from the front of this complex to over here. And then I seen him. He's like, "Oh, I'll wait for the cops. I'll wait for the cops." I didn't do nothing.
Glendale police arrived and arrested Raymond Pouncey and Reginald Chapman. Inside their car, officers found $47,205 in cash.
All right. Do you desire prosecution?
Absolutely, to the highest degree.
Mark Martinez, Fox 10 News.
Seattle-based Amazon is seeing its employees hold protests worldwide as it kicks off its busiest time of the year. Video posted on social media shows Amazon workers in the UNI Global Union marching today. The union represents Amazon workers across the globe. Today's demonstrators say that Amazon allows employees to work in poor working conditions. They've called attention to the way many employees, they say in India, worked through a summer heat wave. They say they want better pay and working conditions. Amazon has released a statement accusing the protesters of promoting a false narrative. When many people think of Black Friday deals, they think of discounts in stores and on those stores' websites. But as Fox's Eben Brown shows us, social media is now becoming the newest place to bargain hunt.
Black Friday is known for doorbusters and big retail discounts, but a growing number of those customers are letting their fingers do the walking. Bank of America says consumers will increase their spending about 7% this year, and a third of those purchases will be through social media apps. It's a big jump from previous years as online retailers find new ways to draw customers in.
Many of the online retailers that are marketing and selling through social media have gotten very savvy. They've made it very easy for consumers to buy in social media.
But the growth of social media spending isn't coming at the expense of brick and mortar. Experts say they rely on each other, and the retailers that thrive in the new marketplace are the ones that will find ways to use social media to their advantage.
Traditional retail has also found ways to leverage social media and market in social media, so they're present both physically as well as in the social media channels.
But from a customer perspective, sometimes those buy it now buttons are just too tempting, and that's leading to an increase in impulse purchases. So before you click, make sure it's something you really want, so you don't end up with buyer's remorse.
Beware, because you've got to just think through your online purchases from an impulse perspective and make sure it fits your budget.
Overall, Bank of America says about half of all Americans will be shopping on Black Friday, either in person or online. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
A police officer in Colorado gets resourceful in the middle of a pursuit, and cameras captured the whole thing. Coming up, watch him commandeer a child's bicycle just to keep up with the suspect.
Our live weather camera is looking out towards, right now, the city of Oakland, where 450,000 people call it home. We'll talk about the Bay Area forecast as well as Los Angeles, Seattle. You've got it all coming up.
Thank you, Roberta. Plus, hundreds of volunteers help keep a holiday tradition alive, making one man very grateful at the start of this season.
I told Mama, someday I'm going to do this. And here I am. Not just for the little folks, it's for the older folks too.
Next week, the owners of the Athletics baseball team are set to make their final pitch for approval of a new stadium on the Las Vegas Strip. Athletics owner John Fisher and his family have pledged to invest $1 billion. The team says that U.S. Bank and Goldman Sachs will offer a $300 million loan. They plan to present the financing to the Las Vegas Stadium Authority Board at a meeting next Thursday. Final approval would allow construction of the $1.5 billion 30,000-seat domed ballpark to begin next spring. Fisher is hoping to have it open in 2028. A ski resort in Washington held their opening day today after announcing that they could get the season kicked off a little earlier than usual. Fox's Shira Matsuzawa was at Stevens Pass today to see how snow lovers welcomed in the season.
Stevens Pass opened a whole week early, and as you can see by the people behind me, they are thrilled. The lifts are open, the snowboards are waxed, and the skiers and snowboarders are out in full force.
I'm so glad the storm kind of hit. It was worth the power outage for sure.
Nice sunny day, a little bit crunchy, but okay. A lot of fun.
Stevens Pass opened ahead of schedule Friday, a welcome sight for the ski resort's vice president and general manager, Ellen Galbraith.
We target the first weekend in December, and Mother Nature delivered over the last few weeks with quite a bit of snow, and we're just thrilled to invite everyone back up to the resort to get the ski season started.
One of those families, the Snyder family, who has been waiting for opening day.
We've been really excited.
I had fun.
Stevens Pass opened with 4 of the 5 lifts operating. While some struggled with their skis, others played, rolling down the mountain carefree. All ages enjoying the conditions.
I was turning and stopping, and it was really fun.
And the roads also cooperated Friday. WashDOT passes shared the road conditions every 3 hours on social media. And as of Friday afternoon, they called the roads clear, bare, and wet, making it easier for folks to travel to and from Stevens Pass.
Stevens is a community, it's a people's mountain, and to just welcome the whole community back to kick off the season. Like, there's so many smiling faces that I haven't seen since April, and it's just nice to see everybody.
And they're celebrating today's opening with giveaways and a DJ. At Stevens Pass, Shira Matsuzawa, Fox 13 News.
Ski season also opened today at Sunrise Park Resort east of Phoenix. Resort operators live streamed images of crowds enjoying the snow this afternoon. They expect to welcome as many as 8,000 visitors through Sunday. This resort has been making snow since last month. A storm that crossed the region a few weeks ago helped out a little bit. And let's bring in KTVU meteorologist Roberta Gonzalez, who's tracking conditions to expect up and down the coast over this holiday weekend.
I
Roberta.
just enjoyed seeing that, Jana, didn't you?
It was beautiful.
Yes, gorgeous. Now, that particular resort is near Greer, Arizona, and the high temperature there today was 47 degrees. Meanwhile, at Sunrise Resort, they had a high temperature today in the 30s, and their base is about 9,100 feet, and they average about 250 inches of snow. They have plenty of clouds today in throughout Phoenix and banking due east towards that particular ski resort there. The high temperature in Phoenix, looking out towards State Farm Stadium at 75 degrees. No events taking place there until December 8th, when the Cardinals play host to the Seattle Seahawks. Los Angeles, high today, 70 degrees, average high 69. So pretty spot on, but it's going to be warmer tomorrow at near 80 degrees. Today in San Francisco, high temperature 62, which was, bam, pretty typical for this time of the year, spot on as far as averages are concerned. And then we take you to the north to the Seattle area where the high temperature was 43 degrees. A deck of clouds kept that temperature from soaring to its average high, which is in the upper 40s. Currently, it's 39 degrees in Seattle. It's 57 degrees in San Francisco. It's just above freezing in Reno, Nevada, and 52 degrees in Las Vegas. So that shield of clouds over Arizona is actually derived from this pesky area low pressure that kept the Los Angeles basin also on the cloudy side today. This could spill a few raindrops out towards the central coast of California later on tonight, overnight into Saturday, but a lot of it will pan out to be Virga, where the rain actually evaporates before it hits the landmass. So we're going with temperatures 60s and 70s, high 70s across Southern California, otherwise 40s to the north in Seattle. And looking out towards Denver, we're talking about temperatures in the 30s with clear skies. Let's go ahead and take a look at the temperatures in the forecast around the Denver area tomorrow for the holiday weekend. Boy, Thanksgiving weekend, boy, nice. You couldn't ask for a better forecast in the western states. 47 degrees tomorrow in Denver. How about 79 degrees in Phoenix? Warming up there, as well as in Los Angeles, backing all the way south into the San Diego area. San Francisco scrubbing out the clouds by, let's say, Monday. And look at that temperature. In fact, around the Bay Area to the south in the San Jose area, we're going to be talking about temperatures in the low 70s as we kickstart the first week of December. And meanwhile, to the north again, no rain in the offing in the Seattle and the Pacific Northwest forecast. Make sure you have yourself a great looking weekend, Jana.
Thanks, Roberta. Well, Arizona-based SunFed is recalling whole cucumbers that were distributed across half of the country. The Food and Drug Administration says there are concerns about possible salmonella contamination. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has linked the cucumbers to the illnesses of 68 people in 19 states. 18 of those people were hospitalized. The recalled produce was sold between October 12th and November 26th of this year. The cucumbers were shipped to 26 states. Those include Alaska, Washington, California, Arizona, Idaho, Colorado, and Utah. Homeowners waiting for mortgage rates to fall don't like what they are seeing. Fox's Kennedy Hayes spoke with industry experts in Colorado about challenges that buyers and sellers are facing across the country.
For now, economic researchers say homebuyers are waiting to see whether rates will dip. One man tells me he's been trying to sell his home for almost a year.
I think a lot of people are just waiting on the sidelines. They were waiting for the election, and they're also waiting to see what's going on with interest rates dropping.
Mortgage payments remain more than 2% higher than they were a decade ago. High mortgage rates are stalling the housing market. Some homeowners don't want to trade in their low rates for higher ones, and the majority of mortgage holders have a rate below 5%, according to a Zillow survey. But economists say now may be the best time for buyers to make a move. Inventory is low in the housing market, so if you find a house you love, you can always refinance later on. Plus, we don't yet know how the next administration's policies could affect mortgage rates.
A lot of investors have been thinking about the implications of increased tariffs, like President Trump has been talking about, and they've also been thinking about what are the likely outcomes of the debates around tax cuts next year.
And if you are searching for a home, researchers say it's good to have a lender who can help you and your real estate agent sort through options. In Denver, Kennedy Hayes, Fox News.
Freddie Mac's most recent survey of mortgage rates shows the average rate of a 30-year fixed mortgage is 6.81%. That is up from 6.72% about a month ago. The last time rates topped 7% was back in May. Body camera footage shows how a police officer in Colorado improvised in the middle of a chase.
Did you see a guy on a scooter?
Lone Tree Police posted this video online showing how Officer Jacob Tarr commandeered a child's bicycle to keep up with the theft suspect. This happened last week south of Denver. Investigators say the suspect was moving through a neighborhood on a standing scooter. Officer Tarr started chasing him on foot, hopping fences in the process, but he really started catching up with the suspect after taking over a child's bicycle that he came across during the pursuit. The suspect was apprehended and charged with felony theft. Investigators say he also had 3 outstanding warrants. One of those was for armed robbery. A much different kind of pursuit on Thanksgiving in Utah. Coming up, we'll have the speedy pig that had police running. Some activists are asking President Biden to designate 2 new national monument sites in California before President-elect Donald Trump takes office. Activists recently swam from the San Francisco shore to Alcatraz Island to spread awareness about one of the proposed sites. It's called Satitla, or Medicine Lake, northeast of Mount Shasta, and has sacred connections to the Pitt River tribe. The other site is south of Yosemite, which has the longest interconnected wilderness in the lower 48 states. The Project 2025 agenda, which many conservatives expect Trump to follow, calls for downsizing the Cascade-Siskiyou National Monument, a goal that would not align with a policy of approving more protective monument sites. The incoming Trump administration also is expected to take a different approach to artificial intelligence. President-elect Donald Trump has pledged to rescind President Joe Biden's AI executive order. That requires tech companies to safety test AI features and then share the results with the government. One top tech lobbyist said he hopes that the Trump team will support rules that will help develop the technology. The Federal Trade Commission is warning people that scammers are ready to take advantage of their goodwill this holiday season. They're sharing some tips that can help protect the money that you're interested in donating to charitable causes. They suggest that you should always make donations with a credit card or check. Never use cash or cryptocurrency. Credit cards and checks come with some protections against potential identity theft. They also suggest that you keep a record of the donation to ensure that you are only charged the amount that you agreed to donate. And if you feel like you're being pressured to donate, philanthropists say you should consider that a red flag.
No charity that is respectable is going to be very pushy. And you really want to see like the nuts and bolts of how a charity runs, then volunteer at one. Find one that locally that you find, really you find passionate about their cause.
Philanthropists also suggest that you research how much of your donation will go to the organization's operational expenses rather than those in need. A man known for spreading his holiday cheer in Southern California was afraid that he wouldn't be able to live up to his neighbors' expectations this year. Fox 5's Jamie Chambers shows us how an outpouring of support online is keeping his holiday tradition alive.
The lights spark in fits and starts as San Marcos' Mr. Christmas rummages around flipping breakers like Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation. The wonder created by this illuminating architect inspired nearly 80 years ago.
I come from a very poor family, and our Christmas was to look at Christmas lights. And I told my mom, someday I'm going to do this. And here I am.
This light display has gone beyond pretty decorations, solidifying a place in San Marcos lore.
I had a lady go into labor down here one year.
The nightlight nostalgia sweeping up kids and adults alike.
He got down on his knees, proposed to her, and she said yes. And there must have been 100 people out here. They all started clapping.
With the lights on, dozens of neighbors showing up seemingly out of nowhere, enjoying the cool evening. The Nob Hill community didn't get this show last year because of a back surgery, forcing Bill, now 86, to recover. This year, too, was looking bleak until a neighbor noticed Bill working again alone, moving things too heavy, but at the same time, too important just to let go.
I made a notice on Facebook that I might need help decorating this year, and he had over 300 people contact him to see if they could come and help.
5 trusted friends were selected, and Bill still runs the show, but the lights are on and the neighborhood is righted once again.
Not just for the little folks, it's for the older folks too.
This Santa is one of the original pieces from 38 years ago, and Bill says this particular decoration is getting to its end, but as for the display, Bill and his helpers say they're just getting started and you can expect it for years to come. That's the very latest from San Marcos. I'm Jamie Chambers. Back to you in the studio.
Wonderful to see them coming together. Well, here's another story. Police in Utah are sharing video from a Thanksgiving animal chase, but it was not a turkey that was trotting around. Look at him go. The department says they eventually caught up with the pig named Wilbur in what they are calling a Thanksgiving miracle. You can see they were finally able to get Wilbur, but boy, what a fast runner he was. Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight. You can stay up to date on all of the stories we're covering online. Just go to westcoastwrap.com and you can stream our shows on your smart TV too by downloading the Fox Local app. Have a good night.
Yeah, Heather's mic. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.